Here are 5 unidentified serial killers you need to know. The Connecticut River Valley Killer is believed to be responsible for a series of brutal stabbings in New Hampshire and Vermont between 1978 and 1988. There are 8 confirmed victims, all young women, often abducted from rural roads or while walking alone. In 1988, Jane Borowski, a 22-year-old pregnant woman, was attacked and stabbed 27 times in her car in West Swansea, New Hampshire, but she survived. She provided a description of her attacker and his car, a key clue. Despite her survival and description, no arrests were made. One of the most discussed suspects is Michael Nicolau, a Vietnam veteran and former soldier who lived in the area. He had a violent past and connections to some crime scenes. He died in 2005 by murder-suicide, but was never officially charged or confirmed as the killer. The case remains one of New England's most chilling cold cases. The Zodiac Killer terrorized California in the late 1960s and early 70s, murdering at least 5 people and wounding 2 others. Most of his attacks were on couples in Lover's Lane type areas, with the exception of a cab driver he killed in San Francisco. The killer taunted police and media by sending handwritten letters, phone calls, and cryptic ciphers. He threatened killing sprees and bombings if the ciphers were not published in the newspapers. 2 out of his 4 ciphers remain unsolved, with the latest one cracked in 2020 reading in part, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me." He signed his letters with a circle and cross symbol, and used phrases like, "This is the Zodiac speaking." In his last confirmed letter, he claimed he had killed 37 victims total. The only suspect authorities ever named was Arthur Lee Allen, a former elementary school teacher and convicted sex offender who died in 1992. The story of the Zodiac Killer is popular in true crime communities and has attracted amateur sleuths and researchers from around the world, all hoping to one day find out his true identity. The Cleveland Torso Murderer, also known as the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run, was active in Cleveland, Ohio, during the 1930s. The 12 victims were decapitated and dismembered, often with surgical precision, and some bodies were mutilated post-mortem. Often, the heads were not found. The clean cuts suggest knowledge of anatomy, possibly a butcher, doctor, or someone with surgical training. Many victims were believed to be transients, sex workers, or impoverished residents, making identification difficult. The bodies were typically dumped in the Kingsbury Run area, a poor, industrial part of Cleveland near homeless camps and railroad lines. Eliot Ness, famous for leading the charge against Al Capone, was Cleveland's public safety director during the killings. Ness personally led raids on shanty towns, burning down makeshift shelters in hopes of flushing out the killer. He was criticized for his failure to catch the murderer despite these aggressive tactics. Today, the Cleveland Torso killings are still considered one of the most brutal and baffling American serial murder cases. The Oakland County Child Killer, also known as the Babysitter Killer, is responsible for the abduction and killing of at least 4 children in Oakland County, Michigan, between 1976 and 1977. Each victim was held captive for several days before being killed. The children were all either strangled or shot, with the 2 boys having been sexually abused. Their bodies were left in public areas, often near roadsides, suggesting the killer wanted them to be found. A composite sketch was released based on a witness who saw a boy resembling one of the victims talking to a man in a blue AMC Gremlin. The case prompted the largest murder investigation in U.S. history at the time, involving multiple law enforcement agencies. A task force was established, and over 18,000 tips were investigated, but no arrests were made. The case remains one of the most haunting unsolved serial murder investigations in U.S. history, with various theories suggesting the involvement of a child pornography ring or multiple perpetrators. The 𝐔𝐧𝐬𝐿 Killer is responsible for a series of execution-style murders along Interstate 70 in the Midwestern United States during the spring of 1992. There are 6 known victims, spread across Indiana, Missouri, and Kansas. Victims were young store clerks, mostly women, working alone in small specialty shops, with the exception of one male who was killed, thought to be mistaken as a woman by the killer. Each was shot in the back of the head with a small caliber firearm. Robbery appeared minimal or not the motive, cash was often untouched. All crimes were linked by ballistics, a .22 caliber shell casing was left at each scene. Investigators believe the gun to be an 𝐅𝐢𝐸𝐸 ET-22 but have not ruled out an Intratec Tech 22, both of which are unusual guns. The 𝐒𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐚 is a rare small German naval pistol. It is a collectible item with only about 6,000 imported from Germany. However, investigators have still not been able to link a weapon with a potential suspect.